Hello. In this exercise, we will do the manual area preparation for the building shapefile. During the training, this is a demo exercise. So I usually explain it first, and then the participants can use the files from this folder. In this video, I'll do all the steps, and you can follow as well. So it's up to you to decide. The first item is to add a new area attribute and using the area formula attribute. The next step would be to add the include attribute and use it according to some parameters specified here. Then we'll add also new attributes regarding the heat demand of the buildings. And finally, we'll add the peak demand attribute for heat. Let's do this together. First of all, we'll go to the buildings, open the attribute table, and add a new area attribute. We can do it this time using the field calculator. So we're going to create a new field. The field name is going to be area. The field type, it's going to be integer, so that's correct. And the length, we can leave it the way it is. Here, as I say, there is a set of formulas that you can actually use. In QGIS, this one I know that is the one we need, is the area. So you need to use the $sign and then area. You can do for the same, for example, for length. You can find a complete list of formulas and attributes with their explanation here or online. Okay, once area is set here, I can click it OK. So I have my area in square meters. The next part of the exercise, we're going to add an include attribute. This attribute means that everything that is set to include true or no, it's going to be included in our design. And in case include is false, these items they want to be included in our design and calculation. You will see this in details in our next videos. So I'm gonna add the new include attribute. You could also use the field calculator, that's not a problem. The type is gonna be string and the length, as is only true or false, can be 1. So you see that now everything is filled with no. If you want, you can always set include. As it is a string attribute, you must use single quotes. And then you can select update all. So the next part of the exercise, we must set include to false for buildings with surface area less than 30 square meters. To do this, we can simply filter by clicking this, select the filter features, area, less than 30. And here you can select it between filter and select the features. I'm gonna select them already. So you can see that 64 features were selected, and you can also see them here in yellow. I'll switch to my table view. Then you'll see that indeed The ones with area smaller than 30 square meters are showing here. And for these ones, include instead of true, it's gonna be false. Now, instead of update all, I'm gonna click update selected. Don't forget to save your changes. You will see now it's showing as yellow because these features are still selected. If I click in the selected features from all layers, you will see that now they are no longer selected, but the color is different. This means that they're no longer included in our design. In the next part of the exercise, we're going to set include to false for building inside city blocks. So this will be the buildings, for example, in this case. I'm gonna do only for these buildings, but you can do for all the buildings that you find in the design. That's not a problem. Let's do it together. With the selection feature, this one here, in this case I'm gonna use the first option, but you can also use the other options. I'm gonna select these two buildings. And I'll go to the attribute table of the building shape file. You will see here that there are two features selected. So I'll go to my include and update selected. So you will see now I can save my changes. If I close the attribute table and if I deselected the features, that the buildings are no longer included in the design. The next step of the exercise will be to create the yearly energy consumption for space heating. To do this, we'll go to the buildings, open attribute table, toggle editing mode, and we're gonna create a new attribute. The name of the attribute is gonna be heat underline H Y. This attribute is gonna be integer and the length we can set as 10. This attribute is essential to calculate the linear heat density. To calculate this attribute, we're going to use a formula. That's going to be 20,000 multiplied by the area of the buildings divided by 50. So we can update all. Now I have this information here. However, we're going to still do some manual changing. So all the values that are below 20,000 will be modified to 20,000, and all the values that are higher than 200,000 will be modified to 200,000. Again, usually you should already have this information. We are using here just an example for our demo. To do this, we can use the filter again. So less than 20,000. we can select the features. You see that we have 81 features selected. We can go to our table view. They are selected here, you can see. So these ones, we can change it to 20,000. Again, attention, we'll click Update Selected. So now you can see. Okay, so we'll do this now for the higher values. We can deselect all. Go again to our filter. Instead of 20, we're going to use it 200. And instead of less, it's going to be greater than. Select the features. We'll see now these are the big buildings. We have 14 selected features. We go to our table view. Here, instead of 20,000, we're going to change it to 200,000. And again, update selected. Okay, once this is done, we can save our changes. Remember to save your changes from time to time to not, in case there is a problem, to not lose the manual changes you made. Now the last part of this exercise is to create a new attribute related to the peak demand for heat. This attribute is specified for each demand point as well and affect and decide the size of the pipes. Let's create this attribute then. Again, make the layer editable. A new field, the name of the attribute is heat underscore kW. Also an integer, length, we can again use 10. And this attribute is going to be our heat yearly energy consumption divided per 1,000. So you can save your changes again. And this concludes the manual area preparation for the buildings. Thank you for watching.